Hi guys. All right, so I'm hoping that Taylor finished hers and you guys are wiping your sweat off, getting off of the bike. So we're gonna do a yoga sesh here. I don't know how much daylight I have because I'm in I get a lot of sunshine right now, but I don't know. And I'm doing this minus music because the last time I did it, Facebook muted the sound because it was copyright rules and all sorts of everything. So, well, hey, Greg. So go ahead and put on some soft music if you want, something that's soothing, or we can just do it without music. You know, you have your own tunes in your own mind. Is it just you and me, Greg? We're going to rock this yoga. So I have to tell you, since I don't have a bike, I've started running, and my body is really sore today. So I've been doing it since we closed, but today I went a little bit farther than I'm used to going. So if I look like I'm groaning and I'm struggling to get into some poses, it's a true fact. So anyways, let's go. So I was gonna start in Hero today, so I'm hoping you can see me, but I have a pillow and I'm going to use it to sit on because my hamstrings are so tight. So I'm going to put it right here and sit back on my knees, but if that doesn't work for you and it's not comfortable, you can just take an easy seat or even on your back. I mean, you know, you guys have done yoga enough to know you kind of just find whatever position is going to work for you so you can kind of get into your mindset for your practice. I do have some hard seltzer up here. It's going to serve as my block, and that's it. I do have a water. So when you're ready and feel okay, come into that kneeling position or whatever you're going to decide, and just take a nice deep breath here. Fill up the lungs and then exhale it all out. So we're just going to try to focus for the next hour or so just on our practice. We do what we can do. Let everything else go. So you can rest your hands, palms down, palms up. Shoulders pull back. Get a nice long spine. The neck is long, almost like somebody's coming behind you and tractioning your neck. So it's really lifting up toward the ceiling and the shoulders are pressing down. Closing your eyes lightly, softening all the muscles in your face, and just coming into your breath here. Inhale and exhale. So you can keep your eyes closed. You can also keep the tongue sitting on the roof of the mouth, the top of the mouth. And let your facial muscles just relax here. And we'll just take a couple of minutes to be still. I know I keep moving around, but I wanted to make sure that the sound was okay. And I'm not getting any complaints, so I'm just going to go with it that it is. So feel your belly from the lowermost part of your belly traveling up through each lobe of your lungs, coming all the way up to the top, holding there a moment and then letting go. And try to let something go, something that's not going to serve you for the next hour or so, and you can just be still here. If you find yourself fidgeting, maybe find another position that you can be in so that you won't fidget. And just breathe deeply, long and strong. You can make it audible, meaning you can hear yourself take the breath in and release it, or you can be more silent, totally up to you. Try to put some your hands, whether they're palms up or palms down, try to keep the fingers light, maybe lightly touching the pad of each fingertip with the thumb, just kind of noticing how each one feels. Relax the wrists, the shoulders pull back. We're going to go through 2 more cycles of breath. And as with your whole practice, you can decide if you want to add more to that, or if some pose we get into feels rejuvenating and you want to stay there, that's always your option. That's what the great thing about yoga is. You'll just do what feels right. And one more big breath. And let it go. So maybe as you're coming into this moment of silence, and sometimes it is hard to take that real quiet space, but maybe you can think about something that you want to set an intention for your practice tonight. Maybe, maybe not. So we're just going to add a little bit of movement here. So on your next inhale, take your time. Come up onto the knees and bring your arms up so they're right up by your shoulders. Pull your shoulders into your back pockets and take that inhale. As you exhale, you'll come back down to that kneeling position. If that's what you've chosen, let the arms fall. So we'll do that again. We'll take a deep breath up. We'll lift. And then exhale, let it go. So you're just kind of going through the flow with your own breath as you take it in, nice and slow, reaching up those fingers, energy in the fingertips. Exhale, coming back down. We'll do it 2 more times. It's just kind of warming ourselves up. If you want to, and it's right for your neck, feel free to look up toward the ceiling as you come up out of that. And then exhale, coming back down. And this time we'll hold it right here. We'll take the right, grab the right wrist and just press down as you take a deep breath in. Feel that stretch through the chest and shoulder. And let it out. And switch sides. Grab the opposite wrist. Press it down as you open up the chest. The amount of pressure you apply totally depends on how you're feeling. Just till you feel the stretch, and then let it go. And let's let the arms come by the side body and roll the shoulders one direction. Lift them up and lower them down. And opposite direction, coming up, over and down. And let's take both arms up on your next inhale. Lifting back up. And on the exhale, let's take the right hand down behind towards your calf. Reach the left arm up as you reach. Maybe a little back bend here. See how it feels? Just kind of getting those stretches in. And then exhale, everything sinks back down. And we'll do it with the other side. So the breath comes up, both arms rise. And let that opposite hand come down behind you toward your calf, reaching up, maybe looking toward the ceiling. And letting it come back down. We'll do that one more time. We're reaching up, lots of length, dropping one hand down as you're reaching up with the opposite, opposing directions here. Coming back down, and we'll do it one more time, lifting up. Dropping the hand down and reaching and lengthening, opening through the chest, and then coming back down toward the mat. So you can remove the pillow if you used a pillow like myself, move it off to the side. And we're going to come to table position here. You take your time, so you're going to bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, squeeze those elbow creases toward the front of your mat. Your knees are on the mat, your toes are relaxed. Matter of fact, you can just kind of kick out tap those toes a little bit, get some circulation back there. And remember, if this doesn't feel comfortable for your knees, you can always make a little speed bump with your mat. You could grab a towel and put your knees there, but you want to be comfortable, so you don't want any pain in yoga. So in a table position, the shoulders pull back, the neck is long, you're taking your focus toward the front of the mat. We start with cat and cow stretches, so you're lifting your tail, softening the belly, drop your shoulders, chest rises on an inhale. And on your exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine, chin to chest, arch your back, coming right into our cat. And going through this slowly. This is such an important stretch and part of your practice to feel that opening through each vertebrae, holding a lot of stress these days in our back and in our necks. Just let it go and just flowing through at your own pace. One of my favorite times of yoga is doing cat and cow, and then you can make it your own and maybe add a little bit of a barrel roll here or wagging the tail side to side. Feel how it feels along your side body. You're letting your head and your neck go. Just finding what works for you. Maybe a baby child's pose is always nice. Just make sure that each fingertip grips into the mat so you kind of take the pressure out of the wrists. You can always come down onto the elbows. That's always an option. So just do what feels right for you through your cat and cows. And once you feel that you're warmed up through the spine, you just come back to stillness here. And we're just going to fire up through the core here. You'll take the toes, dig them under. Take a deep breath, and on your exhale, just lift those knees 2 to 3 inches above the mat. And as you're doing this, you're squeezing the knees toward the wrists and the wrists toward the knees. And you're feeling your breath will start to pick up a little bit as you're breathing for 4, for 3, for 2. Take one more deep breath, and on your exhale, let's lengthen up as coming into our first downward dog, perhaps. At least for the evening, and then go ahead and walk it out. Pedal out those heels, coming down toward the mat. Feel the stretch through the calves, the stretch through the hamstrings, letting the feet find the mat, hanging your head, lots of length in the spine. And then bring your big toes to touch perhaps, and let the heels drop out to the side. And let's get that deep stretch through the calves. You can just kind of sink into it. If it feels too much, definitely come back to your regular dog. You don't have to do that. Just a couple of calf stretches. We'll take a deep breath here. And on your exhale, let's just glide yourself right out into a high plank for a moment. We're going to take this right foot and we're going to place it, lift it up and place it to the outside of that left foot. I just want to get a little stretch here through the calf. And you just push your body back a little bit. Get that calf stretch on the right calf. And then coming back to your downward dog or your plank. And we'll take the left foot up into the outside of that right. Bend that right knee a lot. Press into that left calf. Feel a stretch. And then making your way right back to your downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath, coming right through your plank. And then gently placing the knees on the mat. Knees come onto the mat. Let's take a child's pose, which is always a nice restorative pose. Forehead comes to the mat, or if your forehead is kind of hanging there, this is where you can take a block or a block substitute. Don't judge me. And let that forehead come down, and so it's supported, and that takes the pressure off of the neck, and you just can kind of be in your child's pose. And take a moment here to notice how far apart your knees are going. So that's a good indication of how tight your hips are. And you're just kind of maybe adding a little movement to it side to side if that feels right. Just sinking into it. And how much movement you do, just let your body dictate that. And if it feels okay, let's walk the hands over toward the right side and stay in your child's pose and feel that left side body stretching. So it's really stretching from your fingertips all the way down your rib cage to your hip. And take a breath there. And then when it's right for you, we'll walk back through center and come over to the left side. See if we can sink into that stretch on the right side of your body as it comes down your arm, your side rib cage to your hip. And then making your way back to center once again into your child's pose. Your forehead is supported. Feel free to bend your elbows, take your palms together, and let's let the thumbs drop right behind the neck. That's a great tricep stretch. Just kind of let that stretch happen. You're also releasing through the lower back here. And we're just breathing deeply into this, letting everything go. And when it's right for you, you'll reach those hands back out. You'll just gently make your way back up to your table. Shake everything out. Always checking back in when you come back to table, because you want to make sure that those hands definitely come right underneath your shoulders. We'll dig the toes into the mat. Take a deep breath, and on your exhale, go ahead, lift up your hips. Let's find downward facing dog again. Walking it out. Notice what you notice. Maybe your legs are starting to feel a little more warmed up, or your hips, I should say. You'll start to feel the legs in a minute, so we're going to come back into our downward dog. We'll bend the knees a lot. Take a deep breath. On your exhale, lift, lengthen right through the spine, way up onto the pinky toes, and then gently dropping down into your heels and feeling that stretch. We're going to do that again. It's kind of slow, so let the knees bend. On your inhale, you can look forward. And on your exhale, it's a lift, it's a lengthen, and it's a drop. And then take your time. On your next inhale, we're going to send that right foot back. The big toe is down, nice and slow. Once you get it up there, if you want to bend the knee and open up that hip, maybe looking under that right shoulder, see how that right hip feels. Breathe here. And see if you can get that left heel a little further toward the mat. And then gently take your time, unrotate the hip, lengthen the leg, take the big breath. And on the exhale, pull that knee up toward your hands and put it right up between your hands. You might have to pick it up to get it there. So you're coming into a lunge here. I want you to just gently drop that back knee down and relax the toes. If this is too much on the knee, feel free. We can fold up that mat, give it a little extra cushion there. Again, you want to make sure that you're comfortable, or maybe that blanket. And then this is where the block or the block imitation is going to come right on the inside of this right foot. Place your left hand onto it. It gives you a little height here so you can really open up through the chest, taking a deep breath. And then if it's fine for you, we're going to come all the way up and shine that chest forward and drop the shoulders. Really feel that hip flexor on the back leg. Take a breath here. Exhale, let it go. Then go ahead. We'll take that left hand down either to the block or to the imitation, or maybe your hand's going to go on the inside of that foot, and we'll take a gentle twist, reaching the fingers toward the sky, pulling the shoulder back, trying to think of stacking them right on top of one another, looking toward the fingertips if your neck allows. Breath there, and then exhale, just float it on back down. One of my favorite stretches here is we take a deep breath, lift up the chest, maybe tent the fingers on either side of that forward foot, and on your exhale, push the hips back. Take your time, see if you can bring the toes up off the mat, and feel that stretch into your hamstring here, hanging your head, and breathing through it. So feel that stretch into your hamstring. Maybe bring your toes over to the right, and then gently coming back through center and over to the left. So just getting that little deepening stretch through that hamstring. Back to center one more time, and let's come forward with another big breath. Lift the chest. Exhale, shine it back. Hips come back. Lift up those toes. Hold it. And again, we just kind of take it to the right. Bring it back through center to the left, back through center, and come back to forward, back into that modified lunge. We'll take the back toe into the mat, lift up that back knee. You're in a full lunge position here. And both hands on either side of that right foot. Send that right foot back, pull the belly in. Let's take a high plank here. So you're just going to come into a plank and feel the strength through your core. Your shoulders pull back. We're breathing for 4. You can always put your knees down. For 3, for 2, one more big breath, and then exhale, lift the tail, coming all the way up into your downward facing dog once again. Walking the dog out, seeing how that feels. Just breathing with it, your pace. It doesn't really matter whether you're breathing in or breathing out with the movement too much. You just want to make sure that you're doing it. So you're coming back to stillness here, and on our next inhale, we'll send that left foot up, the big toe down. Take your time, nice and slow. And then the knee bends, and we open up the hip. Maybe look under the left shoulder if that feels right. Breathe here. Feel that side body working toward getting that right heel toward the mat, deepening the stretch through the calf. And then gently unrotating the hip, lengthening the leg. Big breath. On your exhale, slowly bring that knee in toward your chest and bring it up toward between your hands, and you might have to pick it up. Let it come up there, and then we're gently going to drop that back knee down. Relax the toes. And again, you have your block or your block imitation to put your hand on that. Give yourself a little bit of support as you come up here, and we're feeling that hip flexor stretch, breathing. And if it's right for you, go ahead, lift up those arms, pull the shoulders back, feel the stretch. Inhale, exhale it out. And then gently, we're going to bring that right hand down. Maybe you use the block. Maybe you just want to put your hand on the inside of that left foot, or you put it onto the block. You decide. The left arm comes up. We're going to find that gentle twist here. Feeling that stretch coming through, stacking up the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, looking up toward the fingers if it works for your neck. And then gently bringing that hand back down. Walking your hands back up on the top of that leg so you get that chest expansion on your inhale. And then on your exhale, the hands tent down on the mat and you push your hips back as we bring up that foot, coming into that flexed hamstring stretch. One of my faves, definitely sinking back into it. You have your support on the mat. Maybe the toes can gently go over toward the left. Maybe they come over toward the right. Maybe they don't move at all and you're doing the best you can to hold a hamstring stretch. It's all good. Let's come forward one more time again. Let's bring the arms up on an inhale, shine it forward, and exhale, hands down, hips back. Feel that stretch into your hamstring, let it go. Relax the neck. Maybe some circles here. Whatever feels right. And then coming back into that modified lunge, we're going to pull the back toes into the mat, lifting up into a full lunge here. Both hands on either side coming down nice and wide, and the left foot back to meet your right foot. Pull the belly in, high plank once again. So we're coming right back here, and we're going to move on. So we're taking a deep breath. You always have the knees to the mat if you need to. Shoulders back. So I'm going to break this down. I always like to do that just so you kind of can decide where your options are going to be tonight. So here's your first inhale. So we'll do this together. The knees will come down. You'll bend your elbows and slowly make your way all the way down to your belly onto your mat. Legs are nice and long. The tops of the feet make contact with the mat or the floor. And these fingers right about chest level, the elbows are behind you. And as you come and you're focusing out in front of your mat, you're going to really squeeze your glutes. That's going to protect your lower back. On your inhale, we lift to a baby cobra. So we lift up, focus forward, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, let it go. You can do that again. Your inhale takes you through as you lift up strong. Exhale, let it go. This one, coming up again onto your baby cobra, take a deep breath and lift. And then when you exhale, push into your hands and knees. So you come up through table, and we'll go right back into child's pose. Forehead to the mat. See how you're feeling. Maybe your flexibility is starting to come up a little bit. We're getting a little bit of a sunset here, so I hope I don't become instantly into the dark. But you know what? We'll just do it, make do with whatever. So when you're ready, bring yourself back up. Let's do our second level. So you're bringing your hands right in line with those fingertips are strong. We're coming right up into our high plank, pulling the belly in. So high plank's strong. You're right there. And so in the second modification, the knees come down as well. You're lowering all the way down. But this time on your inhale, instead of doing baby cobra, you'll do full cobra. So those legs stay down, those elbows tuck in, the arms lengthen. Try not to pull the neck way up. Try to look forward so you're not straining the neck. The glutes are what's holding you here right tight. And then exhale, coming back down. So you have your options, your baby cobra or your full cobra, you decide. Take your inhale with it. Ready and go. Cobra, baby cobra. And on the exhale, push into the hands and knees once again. This time, toes into the mat. Lift up, downward facing dog. So we're walking it out. We're pedaling it out. So on this last one, this is the highest level, or one of the higher levels. So it'll take us through up dog, and the difference is now that the knees would lift, but there's a lot of strength in your arms, and you don't want to hurt your shoulders, so you'll do what you have to do to get through it. So here it is. We'll take a deep breath here. We're coming into our high plank preparing. So you can do like one of the other two options with the knees down and lower yourself toward the mat, or you can scoot yourself forward an inch or two, and when you come down into your low push-up, those elbows are tight, right toward the body. Now, as you come up through up dog, you're coming forward a little bit. The tops of the feet are in contact, the knees lift, the shoulders are pulled back, chest is wide, you're breathing here, and on your exhale, you just roll through those feet right into your downward facing dog. But if you need to go through table first to your dog, that's an option. Maybe you go through table and you come into child's pose. So any of those flows would work. And the way I'm going to cue those is we're going to call that our chaturanga flow, so you'll know where we're at. So I'll let you guys decide what you're going to do now. Everybody picks their chaturanga, and here we go. Take a deep breath. Exhale, high plank. Coming into low plank or knees down, your choice. Coming into your cobra, your baby cobra, your up dog. And your exhale, your downward facing dog, maybe table first. Breathe here. 2 cycles of breath. Might start to find yourself getting warmer. It's all good. Coming back to your dog. On your next inhale, let's take the right foot, lift it up nice and long and strong. And on the exhale, pull it on through right up toward your hands. So we're coming similarly to, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. So we're in a lunge here. You could modify and put the back knee down, or find your grip. Your toes are gripping your mat. Your right leg or your right foot is directly under your knee. You take your time, and when you're ready, you're lifting yourself up to your crescent lunge. Crescent lunge is strong. Back knee is soft. Shoulders pull back. Chest forward. Exhale, sink a little deeper. So let's go here and let's reach the fingers forward. So the back knee will lengthen as you come into this. This is a strong pose. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring reaching it out, and then we're going to pull our hands right into prayer. Take a deep breath here, and on the exhale, we're going to twist toward the bent knee. So finding your twist toward your bent knee. Breathe. You can stay here. If you would like to open up your arms, feel free. If that doesn't work for your shoulders, stay in prayer. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Gently make your way back toward the center, and on the exhale, put the hands to the mat. Send your right foot back to meet your left foot. Pull your belly in right into your high plank. Go through your chaturanga flow right now. Inhale. Exhale, knees down, or maybe you're coming into a low push-up, coming into your up dog, your cobra, your baby cobra, and your exhale, your downward facing dog. You're breathing here. So every time you come back to a pose like your downward dog or a child's pose, it's a great time to reconnect with your breath. Just bringing it, slowing it down, seeing how it feels. Now we're slowly going to send that left foot back, big toe down. And then on your exhale, make your way up toward the front of the mat, toward your hands, again, to your lunge. Hands on either side, back knee's always an option. Getting ready, setting yourself up for your crescent lunge. The back knee is soft, toes are gripping. Lifting yourself up, coming into your crescent lunge, pull the shoulders back, breathe here. So feel that hip flexor stretch on the back leg. It's definitely a balanced pose. Then we're going to bring the hands to your heart center. Let's hinge forward and get lots of length here. Back knee lengthens. And we'll come right into our twist as we come toward the knee. So you can prayer twist, or you can open up the arms like we did on the other side. But if that finds yourself unbalanced, like I guess I am tonight, we'll go into just the prayer twist. Hold it for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Come back to center, and when you're ready, let those hands come to the mat. Left foot back to meet your right foot. Pull your belly in, and we're coming back through our chaturanga flow. Inhale, exhale, maybe low push-up. Scoop forward, maybe your up dog, your cobra or your baby cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Walking it out. So let's move forward a little bit, some traveling on the mat. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring that right foot back behind you, big toe down. On the exhale, bring it toward the right wrist. So it's going to come out kind of wide, and then you can walk the hand and foot back on your mat. So stay where you are. I'm just going to switch directions. That way I can be here to face you guys. So you're going to walk your hands toward the inside of that foot, and we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold here. Your toes, they come in a little closer toward the middle. The hands come down in front, and then you're hanging into this stretch. It's great for the lower back. You're really releasing out here. And just breathe into that wide-legged forward fold. Legs are strong. We're going to do a couple of twists. So we'll plant the right hand right in front of your face. Take a deep breath, and on the exhale, lift the left arm up toward the sky. Breathe here. Feel that twist. And then gently the left hand comes down, takes the place of the right, and we send the right up toward the sky. Breathe there. And then letting that hand drop once again back down toward the mat. Coming back in toward your legs, let's bend the right knee and just let your weight come over that ankle. Feel the stretch on your inner thigh. And then take your time, come over to the left side, same thing. Feel those inner thigh stretches here. Once again, go back over to the right, feel that inner thigh. Coming back up, making our way over to the left. Coming back to your center. Hold it here just a moment. And then go ahead, walk yourself back over to your right foot. Turn your right toes back toward the front of the mat. So you're coming back to your lunge, similar to where you came. And this time, bring your left foot in to meet your right. So both feet are coming together at the front of your mat. Bend your knees a lot and let your hands float down. Let's come into a nice forward fold here. And you want to keep your knees soft so you're pulling on your lower back. We'll take the hands to the shins as we lengthen up on an inhale. Exhale, let it go. Again, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, reverse your swan dive, guys. Keep the knees soft, squeeze into the upper back, and slowly lift yourself up to a standing position. Fingertips come together. Exhale, heart center. Don't worry, we're going to make our way back that way. So start right here. You're at the front of your mat. It doesn't really even matter where you are. We're going to find our mountain pose. And so you want to find all 4 corners of your feet on the mat, and then open up the arms. Let the shoulders pull back. Neck is long. Breathe here. Take a big breath. Inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale, pull them down into your heart center. Let the air go. Inhale, lift up again. On this time, exhale, bend the knees, and swan dive yourself down toward the mat, coming all the way down. Hands to your shins, lengthen the spine on an inhale. Exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let it go. So you're down in that forward fold. We're going to send back that right foot, send back that left foot. chaturanga flow, whatever is in your practice tonight. Inhale, exhale, coming down through it, coming in through your cobras, your baby cobras or your up dog, and finding yourself right back at downward facing dog at your own pace. So we're going to slowly lift that left leg up, big toe down. And as you exhale, you're going to bring it to the outside of that left wrist. So nice and wide once again. Then walk that foot in, walk the hands in. The hands are on the inside of that left foot. And then you're going to walk your hands toward the wide side of your mat as your toes come toward the side of the mat. Again, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Again, I'm going to switch directions so that I'm facing you. But again, we were here before, but now you're facing the other side of your mat. Nice and wide. I'm going to change it slightly. We'll take the right hand to the left ankle and bring your left hand right up toward the sky. Breathe here. So it's a little deeper in your twist. And then let it float back down, and we go to the other side. That left hand to the right ankle, and your right arm up toward the sky in your deep twist. And then exhale, floating it back down. And then once again, we're going to walk ourselves toward the left foot, which is where you came from before. Coming back the same direction that you came, straddle the foot, left foot back to meet your right foot. Pull your belly in, you're in your high plank. Take your time on your exhale to low plank or low push-up, scooping through your flow, chaturanga, so that you always end up right back in your downward facing dog. Breathe here, a couple of breaths. Now take a deep breath, bend your knees a lot. Look forward and step forward on your mat, right foot and left foot. Coming into a forward fold at the other end of your mat again. Hands to shins, we lengthen the spine. Exhale, we let it go. Hands to shins, inhale. Exhale, let it go. All the air is out, and slowly bring yourself back up to your mountain pose. Fingertips together. Exhale, heart center. Shoulders pull back. Couple of breaths here. So we're going to take a little balance pose here. How we doing? We definitely don't have much light. All right, well, I'm just going to go with it because I don't want to turn on the big light. It's too bright. So we're going to take the fingertips right toward your heart center. Feet are anchored down. You've got all four corners of the feet touching the mat. Take a deep breath. Bring it all in. On the exhale, sink back to chair. Love chair. Push the butt back. Pull the hands toward your heart center. So you get a lot of strength with chair. You're really squeezing into those quads. So just bring your right arm out and your left arm out. We're squeezing that imaginary beach ball and then lifting it up by your ears, feeling those legs really squeezing here, holding for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. One more inhale, exhale, forward fold, hands down, lift your tail, soften right into that slight bend in the knees. And let it go. So we're going to take a ragdoll here. You'll take your feet about 2 fists apart. The knees are soft and grab opposite elbows. And we're going to just hang side to side here. Let it go. As you really drape off all of your worries. It doesn't matter right here. And then coming back to stillness. Bending your knees, this time slowly rolling up, 1 vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up. Coming all the way up, pull the shoulders back and down, inhale, both arms up. Exhale, let it go. Let those arms float right back to your side body. So let's take a balance here. I'll stay facing you. It doesn't really matter where you are on your mat. So we're going to pick up the right heel up off the mat. So we're just going to bring that foot out in front of you, flex the foot here, and let's just open it up toward the side body. Bring your left arm out for balance or your opposite arm out for balance. and then bring it back to center. And we're going to take a twist here. So if your right knee is out in front of you and you're gripping onto the knee or maybe the thigh, you're going to bring the opposite hand behind you. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see how that looks from the side. So we're just getting a twist. Now if the foot is too much, you can definitely put it down, or you can just try to hold the twist here for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then bring the hand back into heart center. And then we're going to go into a forward fold. We're going to go into a figure 4 standing, which is tough. So you're going to take that right leg and cross over the left. Take your hands to your heart center, and let's sink down into this. This may be enough for you. You might say, okay, enough. Or maybe you want more, and maybe you can get your fingertips to touch the mat. Or maybe you bring your alcoholic beverage in and put your hands on that to help for balance. So that's kind of messing me up. But to hold your figure 4, fingers down or on that block or in your heart center, and we're just breathing here for 4 breaths. Really feel that stretch right there in your hip. For 3, breathing may get difficult, it's okay. For 2, and for 1. Now to get out of it, that's always the tricky part. We're going to go ahead and bring the hands up first so you get a little bit of balance. And once you come up, you're going to remove the foot coming back up in front of you and then back down on your mat. Whew. Kick those legs out. Take your feet as wide as your mat and let's just let it go. Arms side to side. A little twist here. I kind of like doing yoga in the dark. It's kind of nice. We're coming back to center, and then we're going to do the other side. So same thing, take your hands at your heart center. Let's bring up that left foot, and then gently bring it like I'll face you so you can, I don't even know if you can see. Take it out and open it up. Find that opening through your hip, and then letting it come back to center, and we're going to go into our twist. So the hand's going to come to the outside of that leg and reach the opposite hand behind you. So you find your twist with your balance, holding for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring that hand back to your heart center, and now that left leg crosses over the right for our figure 4, sinking down, finding that muscle strength, breathing here, pull the belly in. This can be fine for you, or maybe you want to come down and your hip allows deepening into the stretch with your hands to the mat or to the truly box or to your imitation block. Or maybe you're going to hold on to the wall or a chair, and we're breathing for 4, really feeling that stretch through your hip. For 3, for 2, and for 1, and then coming out of it, never graceful, but maybe it is. You slowly bring your arms up first, coming to find our prayer, and then slowly letting that leg come back down and finding the mat, kicking it out. Let's take them nice and wide again, side to side. Whew. Nice job, guys. Well, seeing as we're running out of daylight, I'm going to bring you down to the mat. I just think it's probably safer that way. And next time I'll make sure I have more lighting, but I think I'm just hoping that it's going to be summertime soon and we don't need the light. But come on down to your seated position on your mat. And let's take a deep breath, lengthen the spine, drop the shoulders, and exhale it out. So sitting up nice and tall, you can feel those sits bones. Reach those arms out, pull the shoulders back, and then slowly roll back, 1 vertebrae at a time, coming down onto your mat. You take your time to get there, and then once you get there, we'll bring the knees in, give them a hug, right in toward your chest, and we'll just let them go side to side, maybe a circular pattern, that lower back, both directions. And then right here, perfect time to take a happy baby. So separate the knees, flex your feet, reach up and grab those insteps there of your feet. Maybe you want to grab the outside of your feet and just breathe into this happy baby as the knees open out toward the shoulders. Your head is down on the mat, very supported, and we're just breathing side to side. Maybe you're adding movement if that works for you. If you'd like to extend the legs out, maybe one at a time, it's a good stretch for your legs. Maybe you want to just stay in happy baby, or maybe you don't like that at all and you can take your feet toward one another and then maybe even put them on the mat. You can decide on that. See how your hips feel here. And then gently coming out of it, we will bring the legs toward one another and let them come down toward the mat. So once the feet come down to the mat, we're going to take a bridge. And all you need is just it's body weight only. The hands are down by your side. Your feet are planted flat. Head stays down. Take a deep breath. On your exhale, really tighten up those glutes and lift your hips up toward the sky. Your chin stays tucked. You don't want to move your neck here. You're just feeling the stretch through your quads, through your glutes. Breathing here, nice and tight. Squeeze those glutes. So we'll take a deep breath. You'll let your butt come down toward the mat and then exhale, push it back up. Again, inhale, drop it down. Exhale, push up. Two more, coming down on an inhale. Exhale, push up. And one more, inhale, coming down. Exhale, push up. Holding here for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Once your lower back makes contact, bring your knees in and give them a hug. So we're going to take an inversion right here. So happy baby is an inversion too, but this one's a great one. This one, and where we're so stressed, legs up the wall is just perfect. So the legs are up there, the feet are flexed, and your lower, your head, your neck, your back, everything is supported by the mat. And you're just letting the legs, but maybe you want to take it up a higher degree. Maybe you want to do a shoulder stand. So you're going to roll back, take those hands right into the meaty part of your lower back, and send your legs up in your shoulder stand. So you have options here. If you do shoulder stand, what's nice is you can take this to plow and let those toes drop down behind your head. Great hamstring stretch, which I'm feeling right now. Or coming back up and just holding it here. And sometimes it's nice to add a little bit of movement. Maybe you're flexing your feet or letting it go. Or maybe you're doing plow with one leg at a time. So it's up to you. But what's great about the inversion is it's just getting that whole exchange of circulation, upper and lower body. So if you don't want to do that, and you want to just keep your legs up the wall, which is legs up. And you can always take a block or that Truly box right underneath that lower back there and have support that way if you'd rather. But we're just going to breathe here for a couple of cycles of breath. They do say that any of these inversions are great for anxiety and depression, which we're probably all just about, if we're not experiencing yet, we will be. So definitely feel free to do this at any time during the day. And just breathe. So exaggerate your breathing and force the blood flow to just kind of continue on its journey, and you're getting that upper body and lower body, switching it out. And you're just breathing through. And one more breath. And again, you can always stay here. But I'm gonna, as we're starting to get pretty dark here, I'm gonna make our way down. So if your legs are gonna come down out of your inversion, your feet are gonna come flat to the mat. And let's go ahead and lengthen them out. Let's give a shake. I wanna give a couple of spinal twists here for the lower back. So we're going to bring the right knee in. You give it a hug. Let's roll that right ankle maybe, one direction and the other. And then go ahead, place that right foot onto the left thigh, and then bring that knee across your body as the hip tucks under, you're really going for that lower back and outer thigh stretch, you bring the right arm out like a wing and maybe look toward your right shoulder. Probably can't see anything right now, but you're definitely getting that lower back stretch. Breathe here. One more big breath, and again, if you need to stay there, you will. Otherwise, you're going to make your way back toward your center. And let's take the left knee in, let the right leg lengthen out. Let's roll that left ankle both directions. And then placing that left foot onto the right thigh as the knee comes across your body. You're tucking that hip under, left arm out like a wing, and feeling that lower back, outer thigh stretch, that gentle spinal twist here. Letting it go. Another deep breath. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, we'll come back through center once again. And bring your knees in. I'm going to do a quad stretch here just because we did those figure fours and we did some chair, which is a lot of quads. So you'll take a leg, it doesn't matter. You're going to bring that knee in and grab the ankle, and you're going to roll over to the opposite side, cradle your head right into your elbow crease, and we're getting that nice quad stretch. We do this one on the bike all the time, but it's great to do it on the floor because you don't have to worry about balance. You're just here, and you're flexing that foot and feeling it through your quad from the knee all the way up to the hip, and just breathe into that stretch. Maybe tilting the hips slightly forward if that allows. You decide. If you're looking for an inner thigh stretch, great job. You can just bring that knee in a little bit toward your chest. Maybe grab the ankle or your pant leg, whatever you can grab onto really, and send that leg up toward the sky. Feel that inner thigh stretch. If that doesn't feel good, just let yourself come right on out of it. And then making your way, that leg's coming back down, and we're rolling onto the back, and we're going to pick up the other knee in, and again, we're going to grab the ankle and roll. I'm going to flip over so that you're facing you guys, and we're letting that quad stretch, cradling your head right into your elbow, and tilting the hips slightly forward if you'd like. Feel that stretch through your quad, and just breathe into it. Always throttle back if you feel like it's too much. Then that knee's coming in and we're grabbing maybe the pant leg or the ankle or the calf or whatever to lift it up. Maybe get that inner thigh stretch. See how you're feeling, flexing that foot, maybe separating the toes. What feels right? And then letting that leg come back down once again and rolling onto your back. And letting yourself come to a nice place of stillness here. It's perfect because now it's pretty much dark in here. So let's let the legs find the outside corners of your mat. Maybe your arms are at goalpost, or maybe they're down by your side body. And let your breath slow down. So don't try to control it. Let it just come back to the pace that works for you. So if you did put on some nice chill music, maybe you'd turn it up a little bit and kind of get into your space, but you're just finding that place of stillness on your mat. Your head is heavy, your shoulders are heavy, and maybe just doing a full body scan from the top of your head, scanning all the way down your head, your neck, your shoulders, your upper back, your mid-back, your lower back, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, all the way down. And just letting yourself be still. And it's a challenge because we always want to be going. But this is your yoga practice, and this is when you can just let everything be for a moment. You are where you're supposed to be, right here, right now. So just finish it off. Just breathe a couple more cycles of breath. Just be still. Soften the muscles in your face, your eyebrow creases, your eyelids, your lips. Cherishing the stillness. Maybe thinking back to that intention that you set at the beginning of your practice, bringing it back to the front of your mind. And if you forgot it, it doesn't matter. Think of something else. Maybe take some gratitude that you took time for your yoga practice. And I know we all have a lot of time on our hands, but this is just a little of you time. And just breathing and reconnecting with your body. You only get one body, and you're giving it some self-love here by just breathing and being grateful for what you have and that your body was able to do tonight. And as we close our practice tonight in the complete darkness, I don't even know if you can see me, but hopefully you can hear me. But I definitely thank you so much for coming and for practicing, and each time is a learning curve. So I just want to, I have gratitude for you guys, and I want to send my love to you and each one of you and your families as we go through this trying time. Thank you for practicing tonight. Have a great night, and I bow to you. Namaste.